Australia was great. They opened up beef yesterday for the first time ever. And they did it. We didn't know about it. We asked them to do it, and all of a sudden we got a word that they wanted. So obviously they're looking to do something. But Australia. So August 1st is going to come, and we will have most of our deals finished, if not all. We haven't really had a lot of luck with Canada. I think Canada could be one where they'll just pay tariffs, not really a negotiation. We're working very diligently with Europe, the EU, which covers a lot of territory, a lot of countries, and that's the big one right now. We have the confines of a deal with China, but we haven't really. We don't have a deal with Canada. We haven't been focused on it.
Well, tariff me timbers, it's official. Yeah, that's right. Canada just got left on the side of the road again. Kicked in the ribs and then told by Donald Trump, who was driving by, "Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. I wasn't really focused on you." And that's not really a metaphor, actually, because that's what Trump literally just told reporters on Friday. And if you care about jobs in this country, inflation, exports, food prices, and the state of our economy, you should be pretty furious right now, Canada. While almost every other major country in this world is signing trade deals with the United States, Canada, under Prime Minister Mark Carney and his liberal gang of thieves, has just been told, maybe we'll just throw you tariffs instead, starting August 1st. Well, folks, this is just not just a diplomatic snub. This is a catastrophic failure in our own economic leadership, and Carney owns every single minute of it. Let's go.
Welcome to Bakes on Things.
Welcome back to Bakes on Things. I'm Chris Baker. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, comment on this below. Here's what happened. We saw the press conference earlier in this video. Donald Trump told the world, and we quote, "We don't have a deal with Canada. We haven't really been focused on Canada. I think Canada could be one where they'll just pay tariffs. It's not really a negotiation." Pause and let that sink in, Canada. It means that when we've been told they've been negotiating, nothing's really been happening. And the U.S. president just said Canada isn't even worth focusing on right now. We're not important enough to prioritize. And instead of hammering out a bilateral trade agreement like he's done with, Japan, India, the UK, the Philippines, now the EU, and even Indonesia, Trump is suggesting we might just be slapped with permanent tariffs and told to sit there and take it. This is what being irrelevant on the global stage looks like, if you didn't know. This is what a failed elbows up strategy looks like when all you do is flap those elbows around instead of using them to do anything. Remember that all the tough talk from Mark Carney that happened back in April, all the bold declarations that he'd stand up to America and he was the one who was going to be able to do it, that we wouldn't back down on our anything that we said we were going to negotiate on, that Canada had leverage, that we could negotiate from a position of strength. None of that actually worked. The Americans have now walked, and the digital services tax that we thought we had leverage on, but then he backed down on, we'd never retreat from, got canceled within 48 hours of Trump applying a pressure to it. We really just didn't do well here, did we? Our negotiators have missed every deadline after deadline. We're now less than a week away from the U.S. slapping 35% tariffs on Canadian goods. And instead of an agreement, we've got Domenic LeBlanc floating the idea that maybe the deadline could shift. I'm pretty sure you might want to start listening to Donald. But here's the thing. Trump says the deadline is hard. The U.S. has said it's not moving, and they've made that very clear. You either sign a deal by August 1st or the tariffs hit. And as of today, they're openly saying there probably won't be a deal with Canada at all. This is political humiliation. Pure and simple, there's no other words for it. And if your elbows are still up, put them down, give them a good wash in the shower, and walk away. Because now we have consequences. So let's talk about them. If Canada is excluded from these deals, while Japan, India, the EU, and others lock theirs in, our exporters are likely dead in the water. We're talking thousands of Canadian jobs now at risk just because of this announcement. Manufacturing, agriculture, automotive, steel, food, lumber, you name it. If it crosses our border, it's now looking at getting hit with punitive tariffs. We'll lose competitive advantage. Our prices will rise. Our exports will stall, and Canadian consumers will pay the price again, right at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and on their next car purchase. And yet Mark Carney, the self-proclaimed world-class economist, the guy who said he had the gravitas to go toe-to-toe with global powers, is nowhere to be found unless you look in Doug Ford's Muskoka $5 million cottage. And there he's just drinking whiskey. No daily updates for us, no tough diplomacy, just silence, followed by spin. They'll try to blame Donald Trump for this, don't you worry. They'll say he's unpredictable. They'll say we're standing on principle. They'll tell you that this is all temporary. Don't worry, Canada. But it's not. They're shaking in their boots. And this is what happens when a Canadian Prime Minister with more loyalty to international think tanks and his own stocks than his own people tries to play diplomat in a trade war. This is what happens when you spend more time courting the European Union and Davos and all of the elites that go along with it than the White House and Capitol Hill. Because the truth of the matter is we have hundreds of thousands of kilometers of border with one country, and that's the United States of America. And the irony, Mark Carney could have had a deal. Canada and the U.S. were already partners under the old USMCA. The bones of the deal were already there. We had access, we had trade flowing, we had leverage before we went elbows up. Instead, Carney bet the house on holding out, playing tough, delaying, trying to show how principled he is. He said trade talks would intensify back in early July, but they didn't. But every time he said that, actually, the U.S. just kept walking further away. They signed deals with other countries. They gave better terms to countries with far less trade volume than they have with Canada. And now we're left out in the cold. So much for intensity, Mark. Good job. So much for elbows up. I don't know what you want to say now, but it's time to come up with a new phrase. So much for I used to run the Bank of England, so I know what I'm doing. I'm a master negotiator. Great job here. Great job. This is a defining moment for the Carney government. It's a failing grade. Canada is not just at the back of the line, we're off the list. If August 1st comes and goes without a deal, the tariffs hit and Canadians will know exactly who to blame. This isn't just a policy failure, it's a credibility collapse. Mark Carney promised economic strength, stability, and respect in the world. We didn't get that. Instead, he's delivered weakness, silence, and a global cold shoulder. And he didn't protect us at all. People around the world started negotiating their own deals while he went on vacation. He didn't fight for us. He misread the game. He misplayed the hand. And now we're all going to pay for it. This is the big key. So listen up. We have to ask, so what now? Well, here's the thing. Will Carney cave at the 11th hour? And what would that deal look like? Will Trump even bother to answer the phone at this point? Or has Canada already been written off in his eyes? I want you to let me know what you think in the comments down below. I know it's Saturday. You want to just have your coffee, but please, let's have a conversation in the comments. If your prime minister can't even get a seat at the table, he doesn't belong in the room at all. Thanks for watching Bakes on Things. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this with every Canadian who still thinks Mark Carney has a clue what he's doing. This should prove he doesn't, because the rest of the world just got a trade deal pretty much. And all we got was the cold shoulder and some August 1st tariffs. Tomorrow, we're doing a special Sunday episode of Bakes on Things, so don't tune out. I know normally we don't do any episodes on Sundays, but tomorrow we've got a special 90-day review of Mark Carney. Get ready to check that out, and we'll see you tomorrow.